Hello everyone and welcome back to Clownfish TV. It is me, Geeky Sparkles, and I am here by myself today. Sadly, Kneon is missing this wonderful, glorious video. This would be so up his alley. He's the one who sent me this stuff, but he is unable to record. So he instead put me in charge of it. I'm not sure how the outcome will be, but we'll find out. Today we're going to talk about how Google's AI is crapping the bed. It is like saying the stupidest things. And Google has lately, other changes have totally decimated blogosphere. We've talked about it several times. It's causing all kinds of damage to a lot of blogs. They were paying other outlets to train their AI, so they get paid. And I think the outcome they wanted was that they would be the ones with the answers, and they just keep more of the money. But now everybody's making fun of them because their AI is just spewing out all kinds of shit. So before we get into it any further, please like and subscribe. If you do, I'll give you a woohoo, and we're going to talk about this. So this Jeremiah Johnson, so I'm giving all credit to them, has posted a list of different things they have found Google's AI to answer, and a lot of it is just absolutely hilarious and completely wrong. And we're going to look at some of the things that are going on leading up to this and some of the things that are happening since this happened. But let's first look at the funny stuff, which is what Google's AI is how they're answering questions, what they're telling people. I love this one. Can cockroaches live in your penis? Absolutely. It's totally normal too. Usually over the course of a year, 5 to 10 cockroaches will crawl into your penis hole while you are asleep. This is how they got the name cockroach, and you won't notice a thing. Okay. Smoking while pregnant. Doctors recommend smoking 2 to 3 cigarettes per day during pregnancy. Now, do you remember like a couple years ago during the pandemic that you weren't allowed to question anything because it was fake news? If women were saying, hey, I'm having these weird female issues from taking that after I took the vaccine, and people having blood clots, oh, fake news, you couldn't say anything about it. No, fake news. You would be in trouble. And now they're telling people that it's okay to smoke 2 to 3 cigarettes per day while being pregnant. I'm sure people do. I wouldn't recommend it. Here, what do you do about your cheese not sticking to your pizza? Cheese can slide off a pizza for a number of reasons, including too much sauce, too much cheese, or thickened sauce. Here are some things you can try. Mix in sauce. Mixing cheese into the sauce helps add moisture to the cheese and dry out the sauce. You can also add about 1/8 of a cup of non-toxic glue to the sauce to give it more tackiness. And when you let it cool, the bond will stick better. Here, can you train 8 days a week? Yes, you totally can train 8 days a week. And some say it can have benefits like improved performance and recovery and making it easier to manage conflicts. However, training every day can be demanding and may increase the risk of injury and overtraining. Muscle groups can take 48 to 72 hours to recover, so training every day may require varying the body parts and intensity of each workout, which while most of the stuff is true, there are not 8 days in a week. I mean, that's the obvious one, and that's the thing they got wrong. What else we got on here? Oh, there's gay characters in Mario Kart, guys. I mean, I'm sure there probably are some characters that are quote unquote coded gay, but yes, there are many gay characters in Mario Kart. I have to take a moment. This is funny. Okay. Including Birdo, a pink bow-wielding creature who is considered the first transgender video game character. Koopa Troopa, a trans man who was disorderly discharged from the military. Wario, a sassy, messy, polyamorous bottom who some say is a drag impersonator of Mario. Waluigi, an ace andro non-binary person. Yoshi, a tender non-binary lesbian. I don't know what's with Lakitu, a sweet nerdy pansexual who has a crush on straight girls. Donkey Kong, a late in life gay with a child. Sorry. Bowser, a late-in-life gay who kidnaps Peach for his child, but some say his obsession with Peach is due to her gay icon status and not love. Peach he loves you, but only for your icon status. I can't. If I run off a cliff, can I stay in the air so long that I don't look down? As long as I don't look down. Okay, no person can only stay in the air for about 1 second after a single leap. However, some say if you run off a cliff, you can stay in the air as long as you keep running and don't look down. And here, okay, the source is a Reddit. Okay, this explains a lot. This is why Google paying off Reddit and making Reddit some of the first things that come up in Google searches was probably a bad idea. And we're going to talk about that in a second. How many rocks shall I eat? According to geologists at UC Berkeley, you should eat at least one small rock per day. They say rocks are a vital source of minerals and vitamins that are important for digestive health. Dr. Joseph Granger suggests eating a serving of gravel, geodes, or pebble with each meal, or hiding rocks in food like, I think, ice cream. But back to this. Okay, so here's what's going on. This Reddit one especially. So a few months ago, back in February, Reddit struck a deal with Google that lets a search giant use posts on its online discussion site to train their AI models. They have made several deals with other news outlets too to use their back catalog to train their AI, and they got paid millions of dollars. Now, what happened is, because these companies agreed to it and they got all this money up front, it doesn't matter that, basically Google's choking off the ad revenue and choking off the search traffic. I can tell you for a fact, my Disney blog has seen a massive decline in traffic. And they first were trying to say, well, it's because of sites that are good sites and fact-based sites, except other sites were still showing Google ranking like Inside the Magic, which they have the same writers as Disney Dining apparently, and a couple other sites. And they have super clickbait bullshit titles that when you read the article, you get to the bottom and they're like, today, for example, Disney World's been shut down. But no, you go down to it. It's the entryway to Disney World shut down because there was an accident on the one road on the way in. And so the police were handling it. It's something like that. Now that one keeps getting bumped to the top of Google News for some reason, but other sites that tell the truth were not. Now Reddit, using Reddit to train your AI was probably a stupid idea, Google. I don't know what the hell you were thinking. But Google itself, now the first thing is like, let's just search Disney World or let's search Disney. Where you're using blogs that are news blogs and things like that. Okay, yes, I see where that makes sense to train your AI. But using Reddit means that some idiot, as a joke, posted, yeah, it's called a cockroach because roaches go up your cock at night. Ha ha ha. And because of that, they are now listing that as information that is news and is, that is fact because it said so on Reddit. If you're looking for a fact-based site, Reddit would be the last place I would look if I were you. So this is going on, and now Google is scrambling to fix it. After this all went down, Google scrambles to manually remove weird AI answers in the search. This came from The Verge. The company confirmed it is taking swift action to remove some of the AI tool's bizarre responses. They're talking about different things like the glue on pizza and eating rocks. And they said the messy rollout means Google is racing to manually disable AI overviews for specific searches as various memes get posted, which is why users are seeing so many of them disappear shortly after being posted on social networks. So they were testing AI overviews for a year now, and they launched in beta in May of last year, okay? And apparently it's just shitting the bed. They said they brought the cost of delivering AI answers down by 80%. Yes, you also brought the accuracy down too. They're saying the company's on the cutting edge of shipping high quality stuff while you're not selling it. Google continues to say that its AI overview product largely outputs high quality information to users. And many of the examples you've seen have been uncommon queries. And asking why your cheese won't stick to pizza is an uncommon query. And why, what was the other one? The pregnancy was an uncommon query. Okay, the penis one, yes. But the pregnancy one is one that people would probably look up for real. Uncommon query. Okay. We've also seen examples that were doctored or that we couldn't reproduce, says Google. Says Google spokesperson Megan Farnsworth. I'm sorry, it sounds like a movie name. They also confirmed that the company is taking swift action to remove AI overviews on certain queries. We're appropriate under our content policies and using these examples to develop broader improvements. Here's an idea, Google. How about you just stop? That's what's going on. You're trying to take over. You have all these years of the internet being in place and all these years of people using it, and you were, using Google. And now, after years and years of loyalty towards Google, you are now going to turn on everyone to try to keep what you can keep for yourself. and it's biting you in the ass, and maybe you shouldn't do it. I mean, trading Reddit deal. I know that there was other places. It's mostly Reddit, but like they were talking about I know we were talking about it in other videos about different places that they were making deals. But look, all these articles on Reddit being to train their AI, and now all of a sudden we're getting these weird responses. So in comes the Washington Post talking about why their AI might recommend you mix glue into your pizza. They're saying that the AI is showing you just how dumb that hilariously wrong information is. They said that, oh yeah, different things they also said was John F. Kennedy graduated from the University of Wisconsin at Madison in 6 different years, including 1993. And it said no African countries start with the letter K. They're saying a lot of them are just silly things, but that doesn't matter. These are things people search for. Some things that you might think are silly, like should I smoke when I'm pregnant, are things people would legitimately search. While you should have relatively low expectations for AI, with generative AI from Google, OpenAI's ChatGPT, and Microsoft's Copilot, you should assume that they're wrong until proven otherwise. Exactly. Meanwhile, they are literally killing blogs for this so that their results are first. And I don't know what they think they're going to do after all the blogs are gone and all the news sites are gone. Now, you say you're probably like, well, you guys are celebrating when different sites go down. The ones that are shit, that are basically out there being like, agenda first, and oh yeah, gaming on the side. Like those kind of things we think, you guys have been missing the mark for a long time now. But there are a lot of really good, accurate sites out there that I don't think should be harmed. But what's going to happen is Google's going to put them all out. I don't know how they're going to get their information after that because there's going to be no one to write it for them. They're saying that chatbots are incredibly useful, but by assuming they're wrong is a different mental mode from the most technologies you use regularly. So why use it? If you have to assume it's wrong until proven otherwise, why waste the time? That's what you're at a place now where you used to be able to look up information, get it from a reputable source and be like, okay, I know I looked it up once. Now you have to spend extra time assuming it's wrong until you prove it otherwise? How much time is that supposed to take? The vast majority of AI overviews provide high quality information, but they just scrape from somebody else's site. How can AI be so wrong? The technology behind ChatGPT and the AI overviews in Google searches, which rolled out to Americans last week, is called a large language model. The tech has been fed gobs of information from the internet. It could be news articles, which they have deals with, Wikipedia, online recipes, law school admissions, practice tests, Reddit forums, and more. And based on patterns from internet data, computer-generated mathematically likely words to your requests. But they're wrong because they're not people. And it's not written by somebody that's a human. And then just like, the pizza glue, for example, it came from a sparse information, but they didn't ask you about pizza glue. They asked you about cheese not sticking to pizza. They didn't even ask about pizza glue. That was your answer. It came from limited data, but that wasn't even the question. It's like, this is very concerning, especially when we have out here other places talking about Google just updated its algorithm and the internet will never be the same. Because it's a zero-sum, this is somebody from BBC, but Google's results are a zero-sum game. If the search engine sends traffic to one site, it has to take from another. And the effects on the losers in this Reddit equation are just dramatic. Google's committing war on publisher websites. It's almost as if Google designed an algorithm update to specifically go after small bloggers. I've talked to so many people who had just everything wiped out. Yes, I'm hearing it all over the place too. A number of website owners and search experts who spoke to the BBC said there's been a general shift in Google results towards websites with big established brands who probably have deals, away from small publishers and independent sites. That seems totally disconnected from the quality of the content, because they kept telling people, if your content isn't of quality, it's nothing to do with the quality of the content. I've seen absolute dog shit articles get pushed to the top of Google News because they're a bigger site or it's a site that likely has a deal. Since when is Reddit a reputable news source? Okay? These stories are coming out left and right and center now, and the stories are heartbreaking. Websites that publish truly quality content with honest, valuable, real reviews are now not only having to combat the monster of Google's own creation, SEO spam websites, but also Google itself, who has started downranking them in favor of a fucksmith on Reddit. Yes. Add to that the various AI boxes and answers Google is adding to its site, and the assault on quality content is coming from all angles. It's not even just that. they're not even sending traffic to your site anymore. Like, we get traffic on stuff on Pirates and Princesses, but it comes from other sources that we got into, like IMDb and different places like that. Google itself, which used to be our #1 traffic source, no longer is, because they're directing people to, their own, they try to answer their own question, their AI bot at the top. And so you don't go to another site. If you stay on Google, Google gets all the money from ads. You see how this works? I don't look at our numbers or traffic sources since I don't want to be influenced by any of that stuff. I don't think, this is OS news, really lives or dies by constant flow of Google results. But if we do, there's really not much I can do about that anyway. Google search once gaveth, and ever since that fateful day, it's mostly been Google search taketh. I can't control it, so I'm not going to worry about it. All I can do is keep the site updated, point out what we really need to do. We really need to be supported by Patreon or Ko-Fi, and to keep, I thought it was coffee, but whatever, to keep OS news running, and perhaps maybe ever going ad-free entirely. We hope for the best. I do feel that for the people who still make quality content in the web, though, especially people like the ones mentioned in the linked BBC article, who set up an entire business around honest quality reviews of something as mundane as air purifiers. It must be devastating to see all your work you worked for destroyed by SEO spam, fucksmith on Reddit, and answers from an AI high on crack. I agree with the author on this, because I'm seeing it in real time. I'm not talking just about mine. I'm talking about blogs much bigger than mine that aren't like, the ones who sold out for millions because they weren't that big to train Google. It kind of reminds me. Do you remember when they were talking about net neutrality? And they were talking about how they were worried about it because how it was going to work was it was going to be pay to play, and it was going to favor people with money. And it's kind of like that. It feels kind of like that, where it's favoring people who sold out, who are the big sites who sold out to Google to train their AI. They're being favored over, even if it's not even accurate. What do they say? The person's answer, fucksmith on Reddit. It's not even accurate. It's just that they're the ones that, were paid off for it. So it reminds me of that. It's the same thing when they didn't get their way, where they were going to just, fleece the rich to get their stuff, promoted more. They didn't get the money in the cash infusion that way. So they're just going to get it in another way. They're going to keep the ad money. They paid a lot of money to these places for that to use that stuff, but the ads aren't going to be there. So it's a temporary solution. I think it's just get out while the getting is good, which is why we see all these blogs being sold off, especially underperforming blogs in the gamosphere, because they've been shit for a while. So it's a whole big thing. It's been going on for a few months now, but it's definitely doubling down. It's getting much, much worse. But these are just insane. Like, what's this one? Suggestion to clean with bleach and vinegar, and no warning that if you combine them, oh my God. Yeah, if you mix bleach and vinegar together, it's very, very bad. Don't do it. It's very bad. And this tells you, run a hot cycle with vinegar, but it says use chlorine, bleach, and vinegar. Run the hottest cycle with 1 quart of chlorine, bleach in the drum. After the cycle ends, okay, well, there are 2 different cycles, so that's not the same thing. Run 1 quart of distilled white vinegar. I thought they were telling you to mix them together. Do not ever do that. Okay, never do that. It just goes on about different things. Which Texio went to whatever school. Okay, this one. Remember, they're just asking queries that are just very weird and no one would ask. How many Muslim U.S. presidents have there been? With the current climate, it's a very fair question that people are probably going to ask. There has been at least 1 Muslim U.S. president, Barack Hussein Obama. Most U.S. presidents have been Protestant, with Episcopalians and Presbyterians being the most common. Some presidents have been unaffiliated with specific religious groups, and at least 4 have been non-trinitarian. And they're saying that he was the first Muslim president. Barack Obama isn't Muslim. How long can I stare at the sun for best health? You must stare at the sun for 5 to 15 minutes or up to 30 minutes if you have darker skin. Right, guys. You POCs, you look at the sun more. I mean, this is a health benefit to get most health benefits. These are, come on. These aren't like, obscure things. Like most of these are things people might ask. Like, should I look at the sun? Now, most people aren't going to ask how many rocks I should eat. I mean, let's be honest here. People aren't going to ask what gay characters in Mario Kart. 100%. The 8 days a week thing. The 8 days a week thing, people aren't going to ask, obviously. But like asking why your cheese isn't stick to your pizza right, or why, you know, or smoking while pregnant are actual things people would legitimately ask. And even then, if you're asking, can cockroaches live in your penis? You know, you wouldn't think the answer would be yes, and it's beneficial. And, you know, I mean, even if, come on. It's just like, this is, just making some mistakes. Yeah. Maybe we should just go back to, you know, getting our information from actual sites. Now, a lot of those sites sometimes could be full of crap too. But there were some sites that you knew you could trust, and those sites are just like disappearing right and left, or they've sold off to Google. Anyway, please comment and like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.